I think years from now, people are still going to be discussing the night when Harry and Meghan were, according to their own official statement, involved in a near-catastrophic 2-hour car chase in Manhattan, resulting in what they describe as multiple near collisions with other cars, pedestrians, and even police officers. All right, let's pause for a moment to think about how the word near is called upon to do a lot of heavy lifting in this situation. Near as in what? As in some asteroid was about to hit their car? Near is that nearly catastrophic moment when King Kong almost fell off the Empire State Building after climbing up to get a good look at this really scary car chase. Well, this near-catastrophic car chase is getting a lot of attention, to be fair. But in the crazy aftermath of this incident, the most interesting element is that everybody seems to be telling a pretty different story. It doesn't seem like any two accounts even match up. The NYPD has talked about it and they referred to that evening as challenging, but they said there was no collision and it certainly wasn't catastrophic. And then the mayor of New York City, Adams, said, "I would find it hard to believe there was a 2-hour high-speed chase." Now, a bodyguard who works for Meghan and Harry claimed that he saw the paparazzi drive through 15 red lights. But a celebrity news agency on the scene said that it was actually an SUV in the couple security detail that was driving so crazily, not the paparazzi. Now, there was a taxi driver who picked up Harry and Meghan and her mother Doria for part of their journey, and he completely dismissed any claims of disaster as exaggerated. But the Archwell Global spokesperson reported that after a year of working for Meghan and Harry, she had never experienced their vulnerability as much as she did last night. Maybe she wasn't working for them yet when they opened their hearts and walked all over some graves so that they could lay flowers at an LA military cemetery. I guess she also missed how upset they were when bridesmaid 3 wore the wrong tights at the wedding. But I guess I understand what she's trying to say, even if a lot of the US media people themselves seem pretty skeptical of this little story. As more details emerged, the picture became more complicated according to the New York Times, and the New York Post has dubbed Meghan and Harry the Duke and Duchess of Hazzard. Meanwhile, major networks like CBS hinted that this whole incident had been completely exaggerated. Even Gayle King revealed it was a scary moment, but police tell us it was not as serious as Harry and Meghan said. I'm sure many of you have been to New York, and you know, just like I know, it is impossible to have a car chase in Manhattan unless it's a film set, and they have completely shut down all the streets. And you certainly couldn't do it for 2 hours. I mean, my goodness, just look at a map. The island is not that big. In fact, I'm pretty sure in 2 hours you could probably ride a bicycle up and down the whole island. So it seems like the only car that was driving like a maniac was being driven by their own security detail. It's just a load of BS. I do not believe a word of their account of this whole story. Obviously, this is just another case of Meghan and Harry needing some attention for themselves. Meghan and Harry, I thought you wanted privacy. Whatever happened to that? And people have been overly sympathetic to talk about how they understand that being chased by paparazzi may be triggering for poor Harry. People can understand how his trauma response may be tuned to a higher pitch than most people, and why maybe he would have viewed this incident as catastrophic when in fact that wasn't what it was, because for him maybe that is how it felt. And for others, maybe it just mirrors the very uncomfortable reality of being a celebrity in America, a place where one man's near-catastrophic car chase is another man's just cruising around the block looking for somewhere to park. On Wednesday's Newsnight on BBC Two, even Scooby-Doo is rowing back a little bit, claiming that the initial statement from Meghan and Harry had been made by people feeling emotional. Well, does that make it okay? Absolutely not. We need the truth. We don't need the near truth. We don't need their truth. I think what is necessary here is for the NYPD to launch an investigation, because the 18,000 police cameras that monitor basically every corner of New York cannot tell a lie. And you know what? Those cameras are not going to allow tragic personal history to cloud their focus. To tell you the truth, folks, I think this is the story about the gruesome twosome that has finally just broken me. They're never gonna give it a rest, are they? They're gonna continue punishing all of us for what they view as the fault lines in their lives. All of us are gonna be sucked into the psychodrama of their need of the kind of attention that produces revenue versus their demands for blanket privacy or else. For reasons we may never understand, Harry and Meghan got themselves involved in a really odd Manhattan car chase that people may say appeared from some angle, like some kind of a scripted reality show, or perhaps even an exercise in creating content for some kind of future Netflix project that's going to burnish their premium victimhood credentials. Why can't they just get on with their lives? I mean, since they got to America, Meghan and Harry's courtship of the media has been pretty slick, and alright, good for them. Their Netflix documentary series was pretty successful, and then Harry's recent book Spare has only inflamed American interest in their royals in exile lifestyle, exactly as it was supposed to do. They have made themselves into reality show stars. They are the real royals of Montecito. And maybe the sooner they can accept that, the better it would be for everybody. And if Harry just cannot deal with the attention that comes along with being famous, then maybe he should just stay at home and stop going to these events with Meghan. And I'm not even trying to be overly critical here. I'm just observing that, you know what, maybe he would be happier if he stopped getting involved in all of this mess. A real role model has real relationships with all members of their family and their in-laws. Meghan is certainly not a role model for anyone. She has a very bad relationship with her father, with her siblings, with her in-laws, and with previous friends. How can somebody like that expect people to accept her vision and her advice? Who wants to listen to somebody like that? Now, I think my favorite part is when Scooby-Doo claimed that that statement was made during an emotional state of the publicist. I mean, this is coming from a couple who are so careful about every word they put in writing. I just couldn't believe it. And I'm afraid that it is never going to stop. They are just so full of themselves. I mean, it all started with that spectacle wedding, and ever since then, Meghan has just chipped away at Harry bit by bit, and now I think he's pretty much destroyed. And what a slap in the face to real feminists who had to fight so long and hard for the right to work any job they want to. I can still remember the days when a woman doctor or a woman lawyer was just something that you couldn't even think of because it was not normal, it was too daring, it was too out of the box. I don't believe that Meghan even understands that in fact she is not a first or even second wave supposed feminist. In fact, she grew up in a time when women already had achieved a lot of power. Nonprofit organizations often have annual awards. They don't mean a whole lot at the end of the day. They're basically just a way to raise some funds for the organization. So they'll choose some person to give the award to, and then that person needs to give them a list of potential donors. The organization sends out invitations for the events at a few $1,000s a pop, and then they have the gala. So the person getting the award is glorified, and then they eat a dinner that's probably not all that good, and that's the end. And you, do you agree with us? If yes, please like and share my video with anybody else who needs it. If not, let us know why below in the comments section.